And here we go, guys. Welcome everyone then to the first game. We're just going to go 2x. Fast forward ever so slightly so that we can catch up a little bit. Once again, by the time we are jumping to game number 3, it's going to be completely live already. And yeah. Hey, Dancer. Welcome as well. Play all 3 maybe. I'm going to check that real quick. But because we have 4 series for the day, I'd be surprised if it was like play all 5, for instance, or something like that. Or even best of 5, to be fair. I think play all 5 certainly does make sense. I'll try to find the information. Yeah, I got it. I'll check it. Some of the Gold League games have already started being played. For those who are interested in that, especially those of you coming straight from the Decider coverage for the Silver League as well. But yeah, it says over here that the group stage is going to be play all 3. And what we have right now is for game number 1, we have the remaining map of the draft. So it's going to be the neutral one. And yeah, then we are going to have game number 2, the home map of the loser of game number 1, game number 3, the home map of the winner of game number 1. So yeah, it is player 3. It is player 3. It is with the settings that we just discussed as well. And for game number 1 in the first series, we're gonna have JorDan playing with the Hindustanis and Ganji playing with the Franks. What does it mean? It means that JorDan will have with this civilization the Hindustanis. Nice. Beautiful. He's gonna have with this civilization the Hindustanis first off. There we go. Just trying to push Ganji away. 10, 15, 20, and 25% cheaper villagers in the Darkfield Castle and Imperial Ages, as well as +1/+1 armor and gunpowder units. On top of that, the Hindustanis will also have for the team bonus 25, actually +2 bonus damage from light cavalry, hussar, and camel units against buildings. Beautiful. Before we forget about it, they get 25% faster attacking camels as well. There we go. Here comes Ganji. The villager on the wall and the spearman over there to defend himself against JorDan's upcoming units. Hey Tail! Welcome, welcome. And yeah, let's update this as well, right? This is play all 3. And play all 3. Perfect. Meanwhile, Ganji playing with the Franks instead will have a civilization with a 20% boost in HP on cavalry type unit starting in the fuel age, as well as free farm upgrades. 15% faster working foragers, as well as free farm upgrades. And for the team bonus, there's 9 line units will get 2 extra line of sight, and that's gonna be about it. So here comes Ganji now. It was for the most part JorDan the one putting the most pressure, and Ganji is gonna run straight into the spearman, but he manages to dodge the engagement, and in the end, JorDan's gonna be completely fine as he's completely walled off. We can see on the left hand side that Ganji is completely walled off as well, and he's completely fine too. Going for the gate even, and it's overall fantastic. One of the reasons why the stream started a little bit later than it should have is I was just scrambling to get the new zoom frame ready. If you take a look, I don't know if you remember the zoom feature. Well, it's a little bit more well produced right now. It's got an actual frame to it. This one, right? As opposed to just being kind of naked over there, but yeah, anyway. Olympic Britons, and this map has a lot of sheep, don't you agree? Do you agree with the civilization pick? Yeah, well, the Britons are great on a map like this. This is also a fantastic map for something like Gurjaras as well, but I believe there are not quite as many sheep available in this map due to the Gurjaras as there will be on a standard Ghost Lake map. But I do agree with JorDan's civilization pick over here simply by the fact that Hindustanis are extremely strong no matter what. The Britons, they will get a boost in food income early on as well, but the players are still very far away. And one problem with the Britons is that if you're gonna be banking on archers, which you will with that civilization of course, it's going to be higher risk to send your units forward. Either that or it's going to take longer because the archers are already less mobile than the scouts. If you want to send your archers forward in a way that will allow you to go back to the woods to defend yourself against an incoming swarm of knights or potentially, you know, scouts, if you're just going with archers in the village, you're gonna need to go around the lake because at the center of the lake there is nowhere to hide. I mean, maybe you could use this as a little bit of a choke point with archers or crossbows, but this is not something you know you're going to get necessarily in this map generation, so I think it's understandable from JorDan. He's still going to be able to benefit from the extra food, and he's going to have a civilization that's going to be more versatile on a map like this, in my opinion anyway. Zoom into a villager's abs. Yeah, we can do that. Well, actually, I don't think we have any villagers facing the camera, right? There's a woman. Okay, there we go. There's a lumberjack. A little bit, not too much. And overall, the game is pretty stable. This castle is just coming up for both these players. JorDan will be the first one to get there, although he is going on a lower worker count. He will have the second DC up first. Ganji, on the other hand. Well, Ganji does have a few extra villagers, but he did not go for wheelbarrow, which JorDan already has. So that explains also the villager discrepancy. And how many farms do we have for JorDan? He's got 10 farms. That's going to compensate for about 2 out of 3 villagers in terms of the amount of time that wheelbarrow takes to research. Meanwhile, Ganji, he's got 15 farms actually, so he's in a better position compared to JorDan, sorry. But you gotta keep in mind that for the blue player, the discount in villager cost makes a big difference as well over here, because it's not only about having like 3 farmers less compared to Ganji in terms of worker efficiency, it's also the fact that he doesn't have to pay quite as much. And now in the Castle Age, it's going to go up to a 20% discount on villagers. That's going to be 10 less food a pop. And check this out! JorDan is going for cavalry archers! You know, the group stage is a fantastic space for players to try and figure out viable strategies, to try and experiment as well, especially if you're in a position like JorDan, where you are facing probably a player that's not going to be quite as much of a challenge compared to some of the other players in his group. And this is a fantastic position for him to try and give something like this a shot. We have seen in the past, before Indians got broken down into several civilizations, how the cavalry archer play can be extremely strong for them, but ever since the new DLC came out, the Dynasties of India, Hindustanis, which are arguably the civilization to resemble the old Indians the most, do not have quite as strong cavalry archers because they are lacking upgrades. They are lacking Parthian tactics in the Imperial Age. However, in the Castle Age, you know, if you get Thumb, if you get ballistics, you can still get a lot of damage done. It doesn't take too many units. Nice villager snipe over here though from Ganji, well done. Beautiful. There we go. Let me see if the sources is fixed. Okay, there we go. Now it's properly aligned. Beautiful. There we go. We are getting to good numbers. 11 cavalry archers, and because Ganji for the most part is playing full economy with all 3 TCs, you won't really be producing too many units, which will give JorDan the time he needs to mass a good amount of cavalry archers. Now the problem is that JorDan's also going for villagers. Well, not really much of a problem, at the very least not with this civilization. If you were playing with Huns, you definitely wouldn't be able to go for like triple archer range and triple TC production over here. But JorDan's got only 2 archer ranges, and the Hindustanis, they do get already 20% cheaper villagers, right? So it's not going to be quite as pricey for him. However, he stopped going for cavalry archers, and this over here feels like a mistake. If you went for all 3 TCs and still kept on producing cavalry archers, so you eventually get enough, right? You eventually get to like 25, 30 cavalry archers, enough for you to have an effective army against knights or potentially even scorpions, then yes, go for it. But if he's going pretty heavily into cavalry archers and then he gives up and makes a transition into villagers, it doesn't really spell a lot of faith into the strategy that JorDan has chosen to go for over here, in my opinion. And it's not really a good sign, right, for what's to come in this game for the Wu player. We'll see, however. He does have some camels over here. He does have some production, at the very least, of military, even if it's camels for the most part. And he manages to get one of the scorpions down. However, it gets immediately replenished by Ganji. Alright, JorDan's been able to collect one of the relics. We have one relic collected for Ganji as well. On the left hand side, JorDan tries to put some pressure. And while Ganji is the one under the most pressure in this game, of course, is the only one being pressured at all, JorDan's pressure is not particularly threatening at this point. He stopped, it's not just that he stopped going for the cavalry archers while still having a very small amount of units, but if you take a look at this, base accuracy of 50%, he's not gone for thumb ring yet. And he's not gone for ballistics yet, either. Here we go. Castle's coming up now. Left hand side. Yeah, he's got a scout. He's got vision on the relic. I guess he's gonna try and prevent the monks from taking a second relic from Ganji, but it's unlikely. That scout's very low HP. Oh! There's a lot of damage though that he could have done over there. Manages to deny one of the farms, and Ganji instantly reacts and deletes the remaining farm foundations. Well done. Now the scout goes down, and big engagement taking place at the center. Oh, the camels are completely left alone against the scorpion. So no wonder JorDan comes out on top. He comes out on top. Well, Ganji ends up taking the most losses over there, right? That KD 221 right now, higher than that even for Mr. JorDan. And taking a look at south, yeah, we'll see a 40C on the way. Meanwhile, Ganji managed to get a defensive castle up, and he's got almost enough resources to make a play for the Imperial Age. This is really interesting. JorDan's strategy over here, certainly something out of the ordinary, has not paid off yet. In my opinion, is not going to do so unless he commits to one thing or the other, and the military production over here is still kind of lackluster. He does have a good amount of camels though that he managed to mass up until this point, and he does have extra camels coming out, so he is finally ramping up the production. Now let's take a look at that. The Scorpions are taking on the cavalry archers, the camels are taking on the knights are still going to come out on top. These are Frank knights we're talking about over here with the monk over there on the back. They are going to push the camels away. We're fighting too close to the TC and the castle to take a bad engagement, and JorDan ends up getting repelled over there. While Ganji is not producing villagers quite as heavily anymore. He was saving some resources, so now he'll be able to click up to the Imperial Age. But that allowed JorDan to catch up in worker count for the most part. 101 workers. check. No, but can you send me some corn pie? I don't have any, sorry. Let's see. But if I happen to receive some just by chance, I'll think of you for sure. Second defensive castle on the way now for Ganji too. Here comes JorDan. Nice, coming in the castle. You know what? Still at 75%. There's a lot of cavalry archers. That is a lot of camels. We see a conversion coming up over there, and the castle will come up. No matter what, JorDan gets pushed away. Well, he is going up to the Imperial Leech. He is 1 minute and 5 seconds behind compared to the red player. And it's not going to be just that, but also the counter raid coming in from Ganji. It's putting a lot of pressure over here, getting some villagers down. And even though the knights get cleaned up eventually, that allows Ganji to keep up the villager count as well. And this is unfortunate though, the red player has to bring so many villagers to take a single camel down. To be honest, the camel's doing a lot of damage. It's gonna keep on roaming around as well. So it's pretty good for JorDan. Yeah, there we go. The camel's eventually going down now to the villagers. There we are. Imperial Leech is here for both these players. Ganji already finishes researching Cavalier. He's got some units to take advantage of the upgrade. He's got Halberdier as well. You know, JorDan, he's going for heavy camo, he's going for conscription and plate, bard and armor. From this point onwards, since Ganji was unable to hold on to the eco lead that he was trying to build for himself, and JorDan has already gotten to a good amount of villagers and still has an extremely strong civilization with the Hindustanis over here, I am liking JorDan's position quite a lot more. We take a look at the gather economy time so far. It's going to be about 27 minutes higher for Ganji, which at this point in time is not really that relevant. It's not really going to make quite as much of a difference given players are approaching 1 day of gather economy time already. Beautiful. Yeah, and defensive tower over here comes up from JorDan, but Ganji will still manage to get the castle up. Not quite. The camels get pushed away. The camels get to push the villagers away, rather. Yeah, but the castle's coming up eventually. We have a halberdier and extra villagers on the way, so JorDan knows exactly what to expect over there. Ganji on the right-hand side with a cavalier. Not really achieving much of anything. A few extra villagers coming over from behind from Ganji. He will be able to get the castle up for sure, even if he ends up losing a few villagers. Maybe the unit control's not being the best. Yeah, with all these villagers going down. But the castle is coming up. Now the halberdier were completely out of position over there though. What is going on with Ganji? He gets the castle up finally, and this one will range the TC as well, so it will take the tower down first. It's got a hill advantage, and the TC won't take too long to crumble under the castle pressure. And And the thing though is, JorDan has already been collecting this gold for quite a while, so there's only 634 left of it. Meanwhile, where's the other neutral gold? The other neutral gold is gonna be up in the north, and this one has so much gold left in it, and only JorDan is collecting from it. So even if Ganji gets access to this gold, they're still going to have less than a half compared to how much gold was available over here. As a matter of fact, it's probably going to be even less than a third, because it was on 600 left, and the 3 tiles should have 2400 when completely untapped. So it's looking pretty good for JorDan. He's been able to take advantage of most resources around the map compared to Ganji. So the red player, as he has run out of the gold over here, and if we take a look at the resource view, is going to have still 2 golds left over here and here. It's got a grand total of 2700 gold to work with. Not only to push JorDan away from his base, but also to suppress the bull player. Meanwhile, up in the north, JorDan still has over here 1400. Does he have anything left back home? Yes, he does. It's got a grand total of 5,000 gold! Twice the gold available compared to Ganji. And with a much cheaper civilization over here. Fantastic camels, cheaper than knights. It's got so many units to work with, so many different unit types. It's got the camels, it's got the cavalry archers. And while I was not the biggest fan of JorDan's push in the Castle Age, because it seemed kind of flip-floppy and lackluster, given Ganji was unable to build a lead for himself that was substantial enough to offset with the little pressure that JorDan put in the Castle Age, the bull player was still able to get to the Imperial Age pretty much unscratched back home. And he'll be able to take advantage of this now. He should be able to go for hand cannoneer if he needed to, but the cavalry archer are going to suffice against a halberdier. Gas goes down already from JorDan, and the counts over here are trying to bait the halberdier into the cavalry archers. CA over here from JorDan taking the cavalry archers, are taking the halberdier down, these cavalry archers, and the camels are just waiting for the cavalier to approach the army before coming out in front. In the end, we'll see one of the trebuchets go down over there from JorDan, but he still has 3 left. And while Ganji has gone for a substantial amount of trebuchets over there, 7 trebuchets, it doesn't seem like it's going to matter. There's a Castle Foundation on the right side and a Cavalier waiting. Castle Foundation right hand side. Well, this one over here, this one over here. Yeah, those are fine. Not under too much pressure whatsoever. JorDan has a good amount of camels, so he should be able to take care of individual units. And here comes another big engagement that's taking place. The cavalry archer is trying to take in the halberdier. The camels tried to take on the paladin, and this is probably as good an engagement as JorDan could have gotten. He was thankfully able to target the correct units with his own unit types as well. While in the end, he will get pushed away over here for the time being. He still has a good amount of units and a good amount of production coming out. Now the hand cannoneer are coming out. I don't see any camels on the way, but he does need either camels or halberdier to take on the paladin, because cavalry archers with these numbers are not going to be enough. And the hand cannoneer, well, the hand cannoneer are going to be fantastic, but they will need the numbers too. He's trying to mass them up as quickly as he can, but he can't avoid losing one of the castles. And with the trebuchets coming from Ganji right now with 6 trebuchets, should be able to pretty much barrel through the defenses from JorDan if the bull player is not fast enough at massing the units up. And we have a lot of TA over there, a lot of hand cannoneer going down to the halberdier, going down to the paladin, and Ganji He's going for a lot of paladin right now. Well, trying to. The best of his ability. He doesn't really have too much gold left, remember. The pressure is still strong enough to get to JorDan's side of the map, which is a first for Ganji this game so far. He's going for a forward castle. He's trying to put as much pressure as humanly possible and pushing the villagers away from these golds. Kind of, you know, brings the scale a little bit closer to being fully balanced, as now Ganji will have 1,000 extra gold available to him that JorDan doesn't have anymore, so that certainly equalizes things a little bit. And now the Cavalier turn into Paladin are getting straight to the back of JorDan's economy. It doesn't seem like the blue player is going to be able to get enough defense up on time, as he's got the barracks coming in and the production ramping up. He's only now gone for the pikeman upgrade. He's got chainmail armor, and that's gonna be game, guys. Ganji takes game number 1. This is not at all what I was expecting to see in game number 1. JorDan, despite having a very strong civilization over here to work with, doesn't that getting suppressed by the Franks by hand of Ganji. As we see the red player get the lead in the series 1-0. JorDan's gonna have to use his home map in game number 2, but not only that, he's gonna have to clutch it up in Ganji's home map once we get to game number 3. Going through the achievements really quickly then, we'll see a better than 1-to-1 KD ratio. Ganji gets a 21-to-20 KD ratio in the end, with an economy that is a little bit stronger for JorDan, with about 4,000 extra resources. It doesn't represent quite as much of a lead, only 6% extra resources compared to Ganji. For society, we'll see a higher villager count, max count actually for Ganji. We ended up losing the most villagers this game, with 55 villagers going down, while JorDan ended up losing 42 only. However, it still was enough for Ganji to stay ahead, so well done. Let's go back and hopefully jump into game number 2 without too much in terms of delay. Hopefully we'll be able to update the draft information already. And here we go, guys. Welcome everyone to game number 2. This one is taking place on Shoals. You might remember this one. We saw it in the past, and for the players and the civilizations, we're gonna see JorDan on the right hand side playing with Mongols. We're gonna have Ganji on the left hand side playing with Japanese. And the Mongols for JorDan will give him 40% faster working hunters, as well as 30% extra HP on light cavalry, hussar, and step lancer line units. Then in addition to that, we also see for this civilization 25% faster attacking cavalry archer units. Team bonus gives scout line units 2 bonus line of sight for JorDan and for the Mongols, right? And then for Ganji, on the other hand, what do we get? We're gonna have 33% faster attacking infantry units starting in the fuel age. You get to 50% discount on drop of buildings, as well as 5, 10, 15, 20% faster working fishing ships in the Dark Field Castle and Imperial Ages, with twice the HP, plus 2 pierce armor. And for the team bonus, the Japanese will have 50% extra line of sight on galley line ships. So galleys, we're galleys in Galleon now. This map is very interesting. And what we saw in the past is players by and large ignore the center, because it used to be kind of full of shore fish for the most part, but not too much deep fish. But now that is no longer the case, and I think it might have gotten changed in a way that will now encourage a more water-oriented play. So we see the dog coming in already for JorDan. We see the dog coming in already for Ganji. Absolutely fantastic. Thank you, Atlan. We'll do so. Yeah, and it's overall looking like this should go in favor of JorDan early on, and then depending on how Ganji plays his cards, this might go in favor of the red player afterwards. Why? There are a few reasons. The faster working hunters that the Mongols get will allow them to go out to the castle age or to the field age, potentially even the castle age, but it's going to allow them to go out to the field age much faster. Like 9 times out of 10, right? Going out to the field age faster means you're going to be the first player with access to Navy units. So if you already start pumping galleys, if you already start pumping fire galleys, whatever he chooses to go for, my opinion, galleys would be the way to go about this map. He should have a head start against Ganji that should be significant enough for JorDan to offset for the defender's advantage. Check this out, he's already going out to the field age, Ganji not so much, and JorDan's going up on 20 population, so we'll see how long it takes for Ganji to click up. If he goes up more than, say, 15 seconds faster, that already kind of offsets for the defender's advantage over here a little bit. And if he gets a second dock up, if he starts going for standard galleys once he gets to the field age, it should not take too long for him to get to 5, 6 standard galleys. And he's sending a villager 4, so we will see the second dock come up. If he gets the second dock up, that puts JorDan in a really good position. He's getting close to it. He's got almost enough wood. There we go. He needs to get it. And he's going to. The dock's coming up. And this is really, 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 really good. It's coming up really quickly as well. So the dock is actually coming in. And about the same time as the fuel age is coming out, JorDan brings the villager over. Closer to the sea tower. And there we go. Interesting. This sea tower actually does have extra projectiles. Fantastic. Here we go. And he's going for galleys. He's going exactly for what I was hoping to see, and in my opinion, this is the right way to go about this. So he's going to have the 3rd and 4th galleys out before Ganji gets the first 2 galleys out, before he gets the defenses out. This is huge. With 4 galleys? Dude, even with 3 galleys, that'll be so effective. Even against Ganji's fishing ships over here. With 4 galleys, that's already so good. If he can bait the fire, the tower fire, with one of the galleys over here, and then do work with the rest of the guys, that'll be ideal. But he's trying to stay away the range of this tower, and instead we're gonna see him try to roam around, find exposed economy, and get some damage down. Because if he's just gonna try and, for instance, go after the docks, that's going to take forever. Here we go. This is what I was talking about, and he got there, and he gets 1 fishing ship already. Now he gets pushed away, but he's got 6 standard galleys versus only 4. Ganji's going for more. But JorDan is so as well. He's got another galley on the way, and this is something that JorDan has been able to get just by playing the Mongols. And Ganji is going to struggle against that, so long as the difference over here in Navy is significant enough for JorDan to get a better trade, no matter how the engagement takes place. Once we get past, let's say, 10 galleys for each player, then the 1 extra galley, the 2 extra galleys from JorDan do not make as much of a difference, and it's going to be so much more about unit control, then it's going to be above numbers, of course. We'll see how this goes. Beautiful. Oh, that is not the way to go about the engagement, though. He does end up trading 1 for 1, losing a lot of HP. He saw the number of galleys was very low for Ganji over there, so he thought about just diving in, but in the end, he got kind of clapped a little bit. And now he's got to be careful. Many of these galleys are actually very low HP, and if we take a look, it's only 1 extra galley for JorDan. Once again, not something that Ganji wouldn't be able to offset for by good unit control. Legends here now for the red player in addition to the bull player, so this is a little bit better for Ganji now, or rather, not a little bit better, but he's able to catch up a little bit, right? Otherwise, JorDan would have been in a much better position. Speaking of fishing economy, JorDan hasn't really been going for fishing ships himself too much, so while he took some of the fishing ships down from Ganji, Ganji still has 1 extra fishing ship compared to the bull player. Now, interestingly enough, Ganji's gonna be also the only player going for land aggression. Let me take a look to see JorDan. Alright, big engagement over here. Should be going in favor of JorDan. At the very least, if the HP pool is to be believed. We'll see how unit control goes over there, but I just want to take a look to see if JorDan had any land units at all, and he doesn't. So he needs to make the play work over here on water, and he needs to stay safe on land until he's able to eventually click out to the castle age. This is what he's playing for after all. Let's see if he realizes about the archers coming his way. He does. He does. He garrisons the TC right away. And goes for a house over here to force the units closer to a TC. And this is enough already for JorDan to defend himself. And very soon it's going to be on his way to the castle age. He needs 1 extra building, but he's got a stable on the way. So we know exactly what to expect. There we go. I do find it interesting that JorDan is not going for any extra galleys over here, given the fact he's playing with the defender's advantage. He's trying to force Ganji into the tower, and check this out, Ganji is going to oblige and goes straight into the tower over there, take a lot of HP losses. Losing already 1, 2 standard galleys, as JorDan's gonna be left on all 7 over here. He's going after the stray one from Ganji, and if Ganji goes back south to try and snipe the fishing ship over there, JorDan's going to realize about it and bring the fishing ship around, bring the galleys back as well, and he was unable to take the galley over there. In the end, he doesn't spot the remaining galleys from Ganji, but he'll still be left in a pretty darn good spot overall. For navy count, JorDan's got over twice as much compared to what Ganji's got right now, so it seems like the bull player should be in a pretty good position to take water over here, and because we have so much more deep fish on this map compared to what it used to be the case like in the past, it's gonna favor JorDan quite a lot. If he takes advantage of it, it's going to be a lot of extra resources for free. Guess they just on the way for Ganji. Yeah, JorDan's gotta be careful. But Castle Age over here for is gonna be on the way for Ganji rather. He is about 39 seconds or so later to it. Actually, more like 49 seconds or so later to it compared to JorDan. And what will we get from the blue player? He's got just the 1 stable, no archer ranges, so you are the wiser to expect knights, of course, or Step Lancer production is going for Step Lancer. Step Lancer is actually a very good choice over here, because the Japanese, if you fight with knights against the Japanese are going to have fantastic pikemen, right? Which are so effective against standard knights, but the Step Lancers, if you get a good amount of those, you can actually take on pikemen by attacking on more than 1 row at a time. When more than 1 row at a time. There we go. Beautiful. Yeah, and the spearmen are going down. A villager forward from Ganji. It's going down over here. He does still have 2 sneaky villagers over here. JorDan has not realized about. Beautiful. There we go. Yeah, it's overall not too bad. Is there a generic counter to Lancers? Knights. Knights or camels? Well, monks can work as well. Oh! Beautiful raids coming in from JorDan, taking 2 villagers down already. Yeah, another one! 3 villagers dead already from the red player. Beautiful. Up in the north. Yeah, we'll see the extra TC coming out from Ganji. Meanwhile, down the south, we have the extra TC from JorDan. Against the Manuals. Interestingly enough, I thought JorDan was going to try to go for the War Galley upgrade, and yet another villager goes down over here from the red player. But I thought JorDan was going to try and make a play for War Galley and then take the tower down, take the docks down, and get full water control. In the end, he didn't really do it. And he only went for 1 extra fishing ship. So the whole point of getting water is against the Japanese, prevent them from taking advantage of it. After all, they're extremely efficient fishing ships are a fantastic source of resources, right, for the Japanese. So if you can prevent them from getting there, that's already a win. But if you're going to get water control anyway in JorDan's position, might as well just try and take advantage of it a little bit yourself, you know. It's going to be free resources, free food, right? But yeah. Entities on the way now for Ganji. Yeah, good defense for JorDan still. While the blue player managed to get the most damage done so far. But 2-1, EKKD. It doesn't seem like it's going to be enough for him to stay ahead for the rest of the game. Of course, Ganji's pressure over here is looking really good. The unit control for Ganji's mana as well is fantastic. Notice. There we go. It's got the villager already at hand to potentially repair the mana with as well in the end. JorDan was the one to take the biggest shot. And TC is still under a lot of pressure. Still going to represent that big risk or sink. For JorDan, of course, who keeps on repairing it. That was a good mango shot. And 3 versus 2, 3 versus 1, 1 mango. down for free over there in favor of Ganji from JorDan. Yeah, there's one mana left over here now. It's going to be a little bit trickier to keep track of everything that's taking place because up in the north, JorDan was defending himself against the Step Lancers. And check this out though, a conversion comes in from Ganji. He takes the Manil and adds it to his ranks. Now it's going to be 4 Manils versus the TC, and Wheelbarrow at the very least will finish researching over here, but the TC is going down no matter what. And JorDan does not have any extra siege weapons coming out of the siege workshop to speak of. Here we go. Fantastic. Yeah, JorDan gets pushed away from the center. He deletes the rest of the buildings to prevent the conversions, of course. And is going back towards the forest stable. Won't really be able to get too much damage done over there. Up in the north instead, he's a little bit more successful, taking some of the villagers down and going for a fort castle. So after getting pushed away from the south, he's going to try and do the same to Ganji up in the north. Instead of relying on the manas though, he's going to rely on the castle to take one of the TCs down. The other TC still going to remain up from Ganji. We'll see what JorDan does to compensate for that. If Ganji had redemption, that TC would have died a week ago, since none of the Mangles from JorDan would have delayed Ganji. Well, yeah, that's basically how Ganji was able to take the TC down, right? He converted the Mangle, defensive Mangles from JorDan. He could have gone for it earlier, perhaps. But in the end, it's what allowed him to push JorDan out of the center now. Yeah. He converted the defensive Magnus from JorDan, and he even threatened to convert the siege workshop over there as well. So JorDan was forced to delete it. Conversion's coming in. The conversion connects though before the monk goes down. Still 2 additional units being targeted. Don't know if I said hi to you, Balkanaro. But welcome. Hope you're doing alright. Fantastic, that TC is going down. The second TC, I said it before, is going to stay up for the time being. But JorDan does have some plans as to how to go around that one, right? He's bringing some villagers. He was going to try and drop another castle over there. Instead, it's going to be Ganji, the one to try and drop a castle at the center up in the north. However, there's a lot of Mangle over here. The Step Lancers are coming in as well. And even though the Quick Walls are coming up, the Mangle are still numerous enough. And the Step Lancers actually do make it in. So this castle is getting completely denied one way or another, and Ganji is losing a lot of villagers over there. JorDan, on the other hand, seems like he will get this castle up, and this one will push the TC down rather the moment JorDan goes for Bakinaro, which he needs to go, especially since he's been going for Mangle over here. He does need to go for Bakinaro. Here we are. Fantastic snipe over here. The monks are going down, the manos are going down, and Ganji. Yeah, Ganji was getting raided over here on the back as well. The villagers were starting to go down. He already had gotten pushed away from the north. And while he did have some access to the south over here, it was not enough for him to keep on going over here. At the very least, he didn't feel compelled to keep on going. The score lead was quite substantial for JorDan as well. So the GG comes up as JorDan is able to take advantage of his home map. We'll see what we get for game number 3. It's going to be on Ganji's home map as well. So taking a look at the achievements, we'll see a better KD for JorDan in the end. It's absolutely fantastic. It's going to be better than 3-1. For economy, we have a stronger economy for JorDan as well. For society, we'll see for society in addition to all the stats we already went through. JorDan has 95 villager max count compared to 66 from Ganji, so almost 50% higher. And in the end, he ended up losing about 11 villagers, 2 fishing ships. Ganji ended up losing 44 villagers. To be fair, only 1 fishing ship. But yeah, well done still. JorDan comes out on top. He equalizes the set, and we'll see what we get for game number 3. We are in game number 3, everyone. JorDan playing with the Turks versus Ganji playing with the Japanese, with the Portuguese. What am I talking about even? What do we get for these civilizations? Well, before we get to introduce the players and the map generation and whatnot, let me enable predictions for game number 1. There we go. Who wins game number 1? Option 1 is going to be JorDan. Option 2 is going to be Ganji. And the predictions will be open for 5 minutes. Game number 3, the question, not game number 1, sorry. You go. For the civilizations, JorDan civilization first. Let's talk about Turks. It's going to give him 25% higher HP gunpowder units. Turks are also going to have light cavalry and hussar upgrades for free, which get 1 extra pierce armor as well. And then in addition to that, we get 25% faster working gold miners, free chemistry, a 50% discount on gunpowder upgrades, and for the team bonus, the Turks will have 25% faster training gunpowder units. Ganji civilization, on the other hand, will provide them with 25% wood generation from berries. In addition to access to Fatery and the Imperial Age, he will also get a 20% gold discount on units, and I imagine he could try and make a play for monks because of it. Monks, siege, perhaps full smush kind of approach to this game, maybe. If he tries to play for the later stage of the game, JorDan's going to dominate. And then besides that, we also see for the Portuguese, well, for the team bonus, it's going to be 30% faster research and upgrades, right? And that's about it. Let's take a look at the map generation, starting with JorDan already. So for the wool player, we'll see that he gets the main gold on the back. Over here. We're gonna have, in addition to that, the second gold forward. Facing the walls already, that's not ideal. And then he's got the main stone down south. And the secondary stone is going to be outside, of course. The other secondary gold is going to be outside as well. So this one, this gold over here, is kind of rough because it's going to be so close to the walls. It's easily spottable by a scout outside the walls, and it could potentially influence Ganji's decision making if the red player ever, for whatever reason, wanted to go for a castle drop by the walls from JorDan. He could go for the castle around here if he got vision of the goal, right? And he would be able to deny this, as well as kind of secure this one for himself too, and Then JorDan will be left only on 2 resources over here on the back. Taking a look at Ganji's map generation, on the other hand, is looking much better for gold at the very least, that is. If you take a look, you'll see that the red player, he's got the main goal in the back, which is great, but he's got the secondary goal down south over here on the back as well. Very safe, very far away from the walls, not really scoutable at all. And then the main stone is on the back as well, and he's got plenty of space to work with too. So yeah, definitely one of the best map generations that I have seen for anybody recently. The secondary resources outside the walls will be in front, of course, for the secondary goal and the secondary stone over here. And there we go. Just on the way for Ganji. He's going up on 23 pop. JorDan on the other hand. Yeah, JorDan on the other hand is going out to the village on 24 population over here. It's not going to be enough for JorDan to go for a castle play. No, no, no. So it's going to be a standard fast castle. Into relic control, maybe? Well, Ganji will be there a little bit sooner. Interesting, though, to see. On 23 population that he's clicking up, he will go for stone over here. This is kind of equivalent to 24 villagers anyway. Remember that because Ganji civilization gets 25% wood income from the berries, having 4 villagers working over here on the berries is going to be the same as having 1 extra lumberjack. And this makes the Portuguese a little bit more interesting in that regard. There we go. The village is here already. For Ganji, he's going for the market. It's going to take a little bit for him to get to the blacksmith. He's collecting the boar. And he's gone up a little bit too tight. He could try and sell some of the stone, however. And then send some of the extra villagers over to the stone to try and get enough to go for a castle, perhaps. We'll see. Yep, it's got a blacksmith on the way. Meanwhile, JorDan's economy is a lot tidier compared to Ganji's, of course, by going up a little bit later. And it's got 4 villagers getting the market and the stable up. Well, this is very interesting, isn't it? JorDan will be able to click out to the castle age earlier than Ganji, despite the fact that Ganji went up to the fuel age a little bit earlier. This is something Ganji might want to revise. Actually, it's about the same time for both these players. Yeah, in the end, Ganji went up a little bit more aggressively, but struggled a little bit more. Ended up having to sell some of the... having to buy some of the food, sorry, to click up. So it was not quite as good. You gotta wonder if Ganji was improvising over here, perhaps, or not. But in any case, Ganji will be there at about the same time as JorDan. He has been collecting gold, stone rather, compared to JorDan, who has not been collecting stone whatsoever, and this will allow Ganji to get a castle up. Because it's got a 20% gold discount on military units, this could be something like a an organ gun push with some monks to boot as well. However, of course, JorDan, by going for the stable, will get scouts out already into the open, and Ganji won't be able to go for a castle outside, not so long as JorDan's got scouts out, especially as JorDan's going up at the same time as Ganji. Once he gets to the castle age already, these will become light cavalry on their own for free. So Ganji will inevitably have to go for the castle back home, which is Not really ideal. Let me take a look at the scouting information. Ganji, he didn't really scout too well around JorDan's map, so he doesn't realize about the extra gold over here. And even if he were to go for a forecastle, it wouldn't be the best. So it's going to be a defensive one. There we go. We have some villages over here. Oh! Okay. Monastery coming up first. And then we're going to see the castle come up. Beautiful. What's Ganji's plan? He's gonna try and get the relics. He's going for monks for 20% cheaper, and he's gonna start going for organs as well, and he's gonna try to put pressure over here. He went up on an economy that is too small for him to really afford going for any extra TCs. Not so much the TCs, like he can actually go for a second TC if he wanted to. Well, not right now, but just a minute ago. Promised that he wouldn't be able to queue anything from it, so until he gets extra villages on foot, he doesn't really benefit from going for a second TC. And because JorDan went up to the castle age at the same time, and he did have a strong enough economy to go for the extra TCs right away, with the second already up and the third TC on the way very soon, I would imagine. If Ganji were to go for extra TCs and try to play for economy, he would only be playing catch-ups. In my opinion, Ganji's best chance over here, especially as the Turks, you don't want to play catch-up against an arena, is going to be full aggression over here. So organ guns, monks. He can try to get the relics, of course, that'd be ideal. But what I really want to see from Ganji, though, is another castle coming forward. Let's take a look at that. If Ganji, once again, just scouts a little bit more, he's gonna realize about the goal. And then the second for castle from the red player could be around here. If he does go for a second castle, that's going to double his organ gun production potential. And then he would be able to breach through with the castle over here, through any secondary walls potentially, and then just come in, right? Go for a few petards, bust through, and then just send the organ guns in right there, straight into pressure. But we'll see. Four relics have been picked. No relics have been garrisoned yet. One of the relics is for Ganji. The other one's going to go in favor of Ganji as well, and in the end it's going to be JorDan collecting 3 and Ganji collecting 2. Red player is starting to put some pressure. Finally, it's going to approach the walls from JorDan. I see he's getting very close to enough resources to go for a forward castle. It's going to try to make it work. And JorDan's got the 30C on the way. And this is what we were expecting to see. So there are a bunch of ways to play with Turks on Arena. All of them are very strong. And if you have Portuguese against the Turks over here, I feel like what Ganji's going for right now is probably his best chance at taking the game. So the forward castle is going to target one of the monasteries, not the other one. And he still doesn't know about the goal, so you need to get your scouting done properly. Why are scouts faster than light cavalry? Because the light cavalry have armor. First generation armor, and it's pretty heavy. Did you see the shield they have on their backs? They never use it. They only prevent other units from slashing your back open with a sword, but you never actually use it to fight, I think. Do you? Actually, you know what? I'm not... I don't think they use it, right? With the attack animation, I don't think they ever take the shield off their backs. But yeah, they're heavier. I were you though, I wouldn't really want to try and make too much sense out of the logic of Age of Empires. Because we have seen in so many instances, the logic for this game just doesn't really stack up too well. The shields are for the looks. They look cool. Well, I would imagine they will provide some sort of protection as well. If somebody tries to slash their back open. But here come the Jordan guns. You check a look at Ganji's point of view. He knows about the castle, so he's trying to find a different angle to push from. Here come the Jordan guns. Imperial Age is on the way for JorDan. Imperial Age is on the way for Ganji. JorDan's going up significantly earlier, so he will get access to trebuchets much faster compared to Ganji. While Ganji, on the other hand, with 2 castles, will outproduce JorDan, assuming that he's able to keep the second castle up as long as necessary for him to get to the Imperial Age, where we have some Janissaries coming out from JorDan as well. He's gonna try and defend himself. The Janissaries, they do outrange the Orc guns by 1 tile. Genji will try to make it work. Does have extra units. He's gotta be careful though. He has been getting chunked for a lot of HP, and the Janissaries, on the other hand, JorDan's done a really good job keeping them completely unscratched. So we see the conversions coming up over there. The Jordan guns still trying to target the Janissaries. They do take 1. Chunk a lot of HP off another one. The monks do not get the conversions though. The second castle's on the way for JorDan after he gets to the Imperial Age. Meanwhile, he's got a bombard cannon on the way. Not trebuchets. No. He's got the bombard cannon. 2 bombard cannons on the way. Does he have 2 siege workshops? He's got just the one, so he's got 2 queued up. And Ganji. Well, Ganji's got second monastery on the way. There you are. Man, this castle seems like it's going down. Even though Ganji got to the Imperial Age. Why not repair it? He doesn't have the stone. Ganji's economy right now is, unfortunately, a little bit of a laughing matter. My precise Janissaries have 0 attack delay. Are there better other gunpowder units? I don't think so. In the Janissary, I think it's only the elite Janissary that doesn't get any attack delay. I think Bailo said that the other day. So standard Janissaries, you take a look and they do have an attack delay of 0.4. But if JorDan goes for elite Janissary, we're gonna check to see if they get any attack delay. Yeah, but it's 0.4 for JorDan, so I think that's 5? No, it's not 5. That'll be 0.25. That's 8 frames, right? Elite only? Yeah, makes sense. Lot of monks from Ganji. He is in an all-in situation over here. If he does not make this work, it will favor JorDan. We see the elite. Artillery coming in from JorDan for extra range, and the bombard cannons. Not elite Janissary coming in anytime soon. He doesn't really have too many though to take advantage of it. Three times less than the OG. So the original Janissary had 1.2. Is that so? Nice shot. Yeah, and he's got artillery already, so these bombard cannons already get 14. Oh! OG for organ gun. Organ gun have 12 frame delay. 12 frame delay? Or 1.2 seconds? Oh, okay, there we go. So 0.6 should be 12 frame delay. If I'm not mistaken, the game measures time in 20ths of a second, right? I think it's got like 20 ticks in a second. Like when you play the game at slow speed, that is 20 frames per second. That is 1 second of game time, the same as 1 second real world time. But then playing 1.7, that is of course faster. Each second of real world is going to have 1.7 seconds of in-game time, so you have to account for that as well. When it says 0.6 over here of attack delay, that's going to be 0.6 in-game seconds. Here come the trebuchets. Ganji still putting pressure. He still has more military units compared to JorDan. The bombard cannons are going to make a difference. The Janissaries over here as well are going to make a difference. We see the upgrades though for the monks over there trying to go after the Janissaries, and they will try to get the conversions they do. They get a bunch of conversions. Now so to keep the units at bay from JorDan and take the castle down. The bombard cannons are still there. And just gotta be careful, but taking one of the castles down puts Ganji's push over here in a pretty good spot. However, we have Hazar already from JorDan. He's managed to mass a good amount of units. He's coming in. We have the monks over there completely out of position, completely into the open. And if JorDan is to come out on top over here, that's going to be most likely the end of the road for Ganji. And while he does manage to get most of the monks down, many of the conversions over here do connect, and we have enough units left for Ganji to keep on pushing. A lot of organ guns left. The trebuchets over there still. He's gonna try and take the trebuchets down and shouldn't struggle to do so too much. And well, it was thousands of resources down the drain for Ganji in the span of 1 minute or so. See the trebuchets go down, and Ganji's push over here still stay very strong. He's gonna go for more organ guns. He's got enough resources to go for a forward castle. He's not really sending any villagers though. This guy, what it takes. He's got the puzzle pieces, so to say. There we are. Beautiful, trebuchets go down over there. Good unit control for JorDan as well. Defensive castle on the way for the blue player, Ganji. Ganji doesn't have quite as many military units anymore. He's sending a lot of villagers to get the castle up. Two monasteries on the way. Ganji is very much hoping to make the monk play work. He's gotta hurry though. Well, he does have the monks over here, and the monastery is up. He doesn't have enough monks to defend himself against this push, and JorDan's been doing a really good job making sure that the bombard cannons remain beyond range. of the trebuchets. Huh. Bar cannons are disappearing over there. Interesting, we're going to capture this. Just got some hand cannoneer, yes. Let's get the Hussar. Janissaries hand cannoneer coming out in Ganji. He doesn't really have too many organ guns. He's got, for the most part, monks queued up and pikemen. Isn't going for the halberdier upgrade. Doesn't really have the resources to do so. And JorDan. JorDan's been able to successfully defend, and this might be actually all that it takes for JorDan to come on top of this game. We talked about this before. Ganji's only hope to take the Turks down over here from JorDan would have been to make the push work, the earlier push, right, with the organ gun and the monks in the castle age. But ever since JorDan got to the Imperial age, the bombard cannons from the Turks have been too difficult for Ganji to stop. From this point onwards, with Hussar, with bombard cannons, Janissaries, hand cannoneer, right, everything. And JorDan, it's going to be pretty difficult for Ganji to defend against this. We have the monks over there, but we have the Hussar over here as well. The Hussar will not take the monks down. We have a lot of pikemen. However, it doesn't seem like it's going to be enough, is it? We'll see some conversions coming in. And the Janissaries are being targeted. How many monks do we have left for the red player? He's got 7 monks. A lot of pikemen over there. Still a lot of organ guns, but not as many as he had before in proportion to JorDan's army. Is not going to look quite as mighty on Ganji anymore. And it seems to me like there we go. It seems to me like Ganji is getting completely suppressed over here, and the only reason he's not calling the GG yet, despite a very substantial score lead for JorDan, plus the fact that the economy from Ganji is a running joke this game, is just because this is the last game of the series and JorDan takes this one. It's going to be the first series going in favor of the GL player instead. So Ganji's trying to prevent that, but JorDan's looking fantastic. He's going for a heresy! He's going for a heresy! How good is this? His economy allows for him to do so. And Ganji, well, won't really be able to take advantage of the monks anymore, at the very least not in a cost-effective manner. JorDan keeps on going for more Hussar. He can send these forward. And the monks that manage to land conversions won't be adding any extra units to their ranks. The monks who don't will be just going down for free. Cavalry archers a misclick, right? He does not even have fletching. He can take into cavalry archers. The Turks get better than fully upgraded cavalry archers because of the castle age unique technology, sorry. Sipahi gives the cavalry archers extra HP. So it's really good actually, but he does need to take into it. Nice reads. Oh boy, that is just disaster. That is just absolute mayhem. The carnage ensues. As the Hussar are completely uncontested over there and the villagers are completely exposed. Yeah, we'll see extra units coming over, and once again, because of heresy, JorDan doesn't really care about the conversions anymore. Shouldn't anyway. Yeah, and more villagers going down over here. Absolutely fantastic stuff from Mr. JorDan. Check. Here we go. Yeah, and the monks are getting completely wiped out. Guys, the game is looking pretty much over at this stage. Just gonna have to give me a second. I'm taking a screenshot for capture it, but yeah. Ganji should get completely wiped out over here eventually, as JorDan is getting the final few upgrades he needs for the cavalry archers. Now he needs heavy cavalry archer, but he already has gotten Parthian tactics. He's already gotten thumb ring. He's already gotten leather archer armor. He needs heavy cavalry archers, ring archer armor, and he's gonna be completely upgraded. He's got Sipahi already. Check this out. Already 20 extra HP on the guys. Yeah, and it's game over. Ganji should be calling the GG anytime soon. He's gone down to 60 population. He's got some fate areas to help, but it's not going to be enough. And he recognizes this. He goes on to call the GG, and that's gonna be, well, 2 for JorDan, 1 for Ganji. The GL player gets the first victory. Let's go and take a look at the achievements. Well, we'll see for military. A better KD for JorDan, and the end approaching for actually 3 to 2. We're gonna have for economy a stronger economy for JorDan, and it's not even close. It's not even close. 19,000 extra resources for the bull player, as well as almost twice the villager max count over here, short by 10, but in the end, with all the villagers that Ganji ended up losing, JorDan did end up on well over twice the villager count towards the end. You can see over here, it was just a landslide. Well done.